Hi everyone. In this video we're going to talk about split function and first we'll talk about what split function is and its return type, its syntax, and then we will see how to create a program using split. So first of all, as its name suggests, split is a function that it is used to split the characters of a string. So split function is used with string type. It is used with string type in Python. Okay, it is used with strings and its return type is list. And this is the common syntax for split function. So first of all, let's say you have a string, let's say hello, how are you, right? So there are number of ways to convert a string. If you want a list out of this string, there are a number of ways. You can use a function. You can use a list function. So you can write list A and all the characters will be, you can get a list with all the characters at different items of the list, including white spaces. Okay, but split provides you with number of options. You can decide whether you want, so for example, if you're using a list function, the output would be H, first item of the list, E, L, L, O, white space. So all these items in the list. But what if you want hello to be the first item of the list, how to be the second item of the list, R and U? So you can do that using split function. Very easy. So I hope you understand what is the use of split, and its return type is going to be list. It is used with strings. Syntax for split function is string dot split. So split is your keyword here and string is your string. So for example, in this case, if I'm using A, so you'll write A dot split. Okay, and then you can use this function as it is, or you can also use these two options here. We have separator and then we also have number of splits. So separator basically tells how you want to separate the string. So whether you want that, how many items should be there, how would it know how many items you want in the list, right? So by default, the value of separator is white space. So if I write A dot split, it will split the string and it will use these spaces as a separator. So total number of items in the list would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? You can also write a character here. You can also write a comma. You can provide any separator. So for example, if I'm using A equals to hello, comma, how are you? And I want that there should be number of items in the list such that these items should be separated by comma. So there will be two items, hello and how are you, because there is comma after hello, right? I haven't put a comma after hello, but I'm just giving you an example, right? That's how separator works. And if you're not using, you're not giving a separator specifically, if you're not mentioning anything, it will take white space as the separator, right? And the second option is number of splits. So number of splits describe number of splits. Basically, it tells about number of splits is number of items in the list. So if you don't provide any item here, by default it's -1 and you don't really have to write it. Like I said, it is optional, but if you want to provide, if you want to decide how many items you want in the list and all of that, you can provide a separator. You can provide a number of list number of splits here, and the value that it calculates is by adding 1 to the number you give here. So if you provide 1 here, maximum number of values will be 1 plus 1, 2. Alright, so remember I say maximum number of values, not minimum. Maximum number of values would be 1 plus 1, right? If you provide 2 here, so it would be 1 plus 2 and all of that, right? So this is how split function works. And now I'll give you an example. Okay, so first of all, let's just say we have a string. It says, hello, how are you doing, right? So I want to convert this to a list, right? So to convert A into a list, I can use list function, but then what it does is it will take all the characters including white spaces as items of the list, right? So now let's see how it works with split. So I'll take another variable b here. So a dot split. Okay. Now if I try to print the value of b, as you can see, I told you by default split takes white space as a separator. So these two terms are optional. I did not provide these terms here. So by default, it will take white space as separator. So where are white spaces in this string? One here after hello, one here after how are you, right? So it will take this as the first item, then there is a separator, right? White space. And then second item, then separator, third, separator, fourth, separator, and then this becomes the last item, right? So this is how it works. And I hope it is clear. I hope you can see obviously you can see the difference between list function and split function. All right, now let's talk about what else? Okay, let's say so let's use this another variable c and a dot split. So by default it is white space, right? And then I'm trying to provide number of splits. Okay, so let's say number of splits are 0, right? So if number of splits are 0, what did I tell you? Number of splits 0 means maximum number of values in the list are going to be 0 plus 1, right? So let's print C here. Okay, it is going to, yeah. So number of values are going to be 0 plus 1, right? So 0 plus 1 is 1. So as you can see, there is only one item in the list. Hello, how are you? Okay, I'm going to copy this. All right. Okay, so let's say it is 1. So number of items would be 2. Okay, so 1 and 2, right? Similarly, if you put 2 here, it will be 3, right? So this is how number of splits work. And what else? Okay, so by default, right? Let's say you want that, and in some cases, if you let's say want that, sometimes you want to there are certain programs where you might wanna convert this. You are given this string, and then you want to select one substring from this string. Okay, so you will select one substring, and then you want to create a list out of that substring. Okay, you can do that very easily. How you can do that? How can you do that? So A is this whole string, then B equals to A dot split. So B is hello, how are you doing? Now we want this first item, okay, and then I want to create a list out of these characters, right? So this is, what is it? What is this? This is a list, right? And where is it stored? I'm using variable b here for this list. And this also means, I hope you remember how lists work. So b of 0, so the first item, this is how we access items of the list. So b of 0 is hello, right? If I write, and by default, this is actually this is item in the list, but what is it? Is it a number? Is it a character? What is it? It is a string, right? It's a string. So what I want is, I want to convert this into another list of characters, different characters. Now this was, what is it? Like, this is, obviously this is, if I'm talking about B, this is one element of B. Now if I take this specific thing, okay, I haven't mentioned any variable here. I can do that. So let's say D equals this, and then if I print D, okay, so now D becomes another list, and its items are characters of D is a list, and its items are characters of the first item of B, another list, right? So you can like work with strings and lists that way. And we are done with white spaces. And yeah, okay, I can take another example where we can change the value of separator, right? So let's say value of, we have a variable, let's say E, and the value here is hi, how are you? Okay, all right, so E dot split. Now what I want is, I want to separate this thing, and then I can write -1 here, and I want to show this value. I don't want to save it anywhere. All right, so since I'm writing split comma here, it is going to split it, and you know, it is going to split this whole string, and the division is made. It will first check for the comma, right, and then it will create a division. And if you're not doing that, it's going to be very simple. Okay, so it's hi, how are you? So it is going to use white spaces, right? So hi, comma, and then white space. So this hi, comma becomes one item of the resultant list. Okay, and because I did not provide any explicit or specific specific separator here, but if I provide a separator here, because I'm specifically mentioning here that I want that this string should separate, and a list should be created out of this string using comma as the separator. So it will check for the comma here. If there are two commas, let's say one here and let's say another one here, so there will be 1, 2, 3 items in the list. But now since the comma separates, there is only one comma, so there are going to be 1 and 2, only 2 items here. So this is the first item and this becomes the second item. Okay, so this is how split function works, and I really hope you understood the use of split function, how it is different from list, and how you can use it with strings whenever you have to create a list out of the characters. It is definitely useful in many programs. If you still have any doubt, please let me know in the comments below, and if you have any suggestions, do let me know that as well, any feedback. Always welcome. I'll see you in the next video lecture. Till then, take care.